Do that. It's fine. It's fine. There you go. It's done. It's done. Now I just need to do this, because that's just loud as hell. On my end, it's loud as hell. Anyway, I have to go to work today, so this is why the stream is technically early, and also why it's not going to be that big of a stream. It's just going to kind of be like a one and done with the investigation bit, because apparently we're on investigation part 1. Or whenever a save happens, or if 2 hours hits. One of those things. So let's go, everybody. Great Ace Attorney Adventures, episode 2. The phone that was not silenced. There you go. My phone is silenced. Audacity! I'm glad to see that you are here. It's good to see a friendly face, for sure. Thank you for being here. I will only be here for about 2 hours at most. And then, we're kind of gonna end it because I have to, I have to go to work. Let's go, lesbians! Hell yeah! Fucking Yuri up my business. God, the little tickets are so good. The Adventure of the Unbreakable Spectral Band. Oh.
In a corner of that small, dark room, Shomles and I waited with bated breath.
Slomes!
In time, there came from the ventilator a hiss and a soft, almost growl-like sound. Suddenly, Shomles sprang into action, lashing
I love
furiously
this
with his
Sloan.
cane
It's
at
so
the
good.
point in
It's
the
so good.
darkness. "You see it, Wilson?" he yelled, his tense voice reverberating through the air.
Wilson!
I raised my dark lantern shutter.
Are you gonna see Tin the Toolman here too?
Came into view. Shomles was staring intently at one particular corner when he started whispering to me. The victim's most perplexing final words. The speckled band.
The speckled band.
I believe this is the terrible coil to which you referred, Wilson. In front of us was an enormous adder, its fangs bared.
That's
as
an
it
adder?
threatened to strike. It truly was the most terrible speckled band I had ever seen.
I had no idea what a speckled band is. 9th January, 6:37 a.m. On board the steamship, Bruh. Is this gonna be, Shomles? Oh, yo.
So then, let us unravel this mystery and discover what events led to this curious murder.
Oh.
Pray, do excuse me.
Oh, wait,
The
no.
cabin door was
I
bolted
don't
from
like
the
what I
inside
see
when the man
there.
was killed. No
Please don't
marks
tell
to
me.
suggest the bolt was tampered with in any way. So, this would appear to be a locked room mystery. In his final moments, the victim scrawled a message on the floor. Almost certainly with the ink from this upset bottle. A Russian word. So the victim was a Russian man then. And the letters are well formed, suggesting he was compos mentis at the time. This is a most extraordinary script. And evidently not penned by the same hand as this message. In fact, I deduce it was written by someone of a different nationality.
Does he not know what Japanese is?
This paper seal was placed just prior to the incident by the victim himself, I would venture.
Oh,
Well,
whoa.
what have we here?
Who are you, and what do you think you're doing here?
Da! No one must touch before maritime police come. We must wait!
Shh. That won't be necessary. You see, in less than 5 seconds from now, I will reveal the killer to you.
No way. No way.
Don't be absurd. This is murder. An cabin locked from inside.
Ah yes, the locked room. But that mystery is paper thin.
Why was it
You don't
like
mean
locked
the
like that?
culprit is in there?
Who are you, and where have you come from?
I'm a great British consultant detective, the only one in the world.
British people.
Sherlock Shomles. I presume you must have heard of me.
Wakey wakey, eggs and bakey. Was that a fast forward? Because I think that was a fast forward and we're gonna see the rest of it later. My head is throbbing. What's going on? Something's not right here. There's trouble in the air. Wait, I can't move. Oh! Ah! What the? Why am I in handcuffs? So you wake up now, hmm? We had to drag you out of wardrobe. I do not believe how you could not wake up. You are a true cold-blooded man. You found me then? Da, we found you. And now you pay. Queen Amal. How long are you hiding in a tiny wardrobe, hmm? Sorry. Now you have been found. It's time to admit your crimes. Unless you want to find out how cold the ocean is, hmm? No. I'll tell you everything. There's only one thing I'd like to know from you. Isn't that... Oh. Why did you do it? Why did you take his life? Miss... Susato? Wait. What did you just say? Take his life? Of course. No. It's the dude, isn't it? It's his friend, isn't it? Why do all, like, the good people have to die? Like, just right then and there. Like, he was so nice to us. He was so nice. Where is he? Where's Kazuma? Ah! You Bertrand, you do not know. You are a wolf in the sheep's belt. You are the killer. Do not try to make excuses. What? Kazuma-sama's body was discovered not long ago. Here, in this very cabin. That was bolted shut from the inside. His body? Please, do not try to tell us you were doing this terrible thing in your sleep. Kazuma's dead? But he can't be. These handcuffs. Surely you don't think I have to know. Why did you take Kazuma-sama's life? Answer me, please! No. No! Could have done a better no, but you know what, whatever. I'm struggling with emotions. Kazuma. It was just 2 short weeks ago. Are you sure about this? Won't we get in trouble? Don't you find it fun being a stowaway? Besides, how else could you come to England with me to study? He just wanted his buddy over. He smuggled him in. Ah, I love this so much. God dang it. It was really something else when they brought your luggage in here earlier, though. With that Russian crewman just tossed your traveling case onto the floor. Thought I was gonna die. Yes, I still can't quite believe that. I really didn't think you'd be able to fit inside my trunk. You must be even less of a man than you look. Hey! Honestly, I thought I broke every bone in my body. Well, it's about 50 days until we dock into Great Britain. But if you confine yourself in my cabin here, I don't expect anyone will discover you. I hope not. I get the feeling those Russians wouldn't be very forgiving of a stowaway. They're a sturdy bunch, that's for sure. What I want to know is, why do we need to keep it a secret from the young lady? For our faithful digital assistant, Mikotoba, you mean? From your close friend, more to the point? Surely we could confide in her, couldn't we? I don't believe she'd give me away. No, but if she knew of what we'd done, then that would make her guilty by association. It's best that only you and I know about this. I suppose so. Anyway, it's about the time that the steward is supposed to come and clean the cab. I know it's cramped, but you better get in there, I think. It won't be for long. Anyway, compared to hiding inside my traveling case, it will be a breeze. Yes, but what if the steward decides to open the wardrobe for some reason? Then I'll be in for it. Stop worrying. I tell you what, why don't you write keep out, or something on this piece of paper? What? Then I can stick it over the wardrobe doors. Well, once you're inside. I don't know. We've only been at sea for about 15 days. How could this have happened? We were supposed to be going to this venture to England together. We leave you at next port. Stay quiet until then. Don't make more trouble for yourself. Murderer. No, I'm not a murderer. Duh, you said before. You said you admitted everything about your crimes. No, that's not right. I mean, yes, I did stow away on the ship, but... Murder my best friend? No one else could have done it. Admit the truth. Sasato-san... Please tell me what happened. I need to know. Very well. But there is something I would like to ask of you, too. Those eyes. She looks like she's ready to destroy me. This nightmare is getting worse by the minute. I suppose all I could do is try to find out what really happened. About the incident. Can anyone tell me what actually happened here in this cabin? I don't understand it. Why would anyone want to kill Kazuma? Presumably, that's something you know the answer to better than anyone. Please. Whatever you say, you were here in the cabin after all. Well, yes, I was, but... He would always wake before dawn and do his training first thing in the morning. I was waiting outside his cabin, as I have every day so far on this voyage. This morning, he did not come. I could sense that he wouldn't. Does that mean he was already dead when Sato-san arrived at his cabin door? I wonder. I knocked, but there was no reply. Then I started to become worried, so I went to find a member of the crew. The crewman forced the cabin door open, and when we managed to get inside... There was Kazuma-sama, collapsed on the floor. And the white tape there now shows exactly where he was found, I suppose. had no idea anything had happened. I must have been asleep in the wardrobe somehow. I wish it wasn't the case, but it's just very hard to believe. It's all very hard for me to believe too, trust me. Okay, about his deed. He really has been killed, hasn't he? This isn't just a bad dream? And these handcuffs. You think I did it? You think I'm a Kazuma's killer? When they found him, the cabin was locked from the inside. What do you mean? You can't stay as you're working, but have a great— Thank you, Grandpa's Ghost. Thank you for checking on me on those few times that you were there and everything, and I appreciate the checking in right now too, so I appreciate that. It's gonna be a short stream anyway, so it's not like you're gonna miss so much. But I did want to do something for today. There's no access to the cabin via a porthole window, and the bolt on the door can't be operated from outside. In other words, after the crime, the culprit couldn't have escaped these four walls. I'm glad to. What? Or to put it in another way, the culprit could only have been somebody inside this cabin. Or do you have some other explanation? This is impossible. How did he die then? What happened exactly? Are you still going to deny the charge, even despite the circumstances? Please, Susato! You have to listen, you have to tell me! The cause of death is still undetermined. You don't know how he died? The ship's doctor is examining the body, but of course, he has no post-mortem analysis experience. I don't suppose we shall learn more until an expert has been consulted on our next port of call. So presumably that means there were no obvious external signs of injury, then? That's true, yes. Now I've told you everything I know. So it's my turn to ask you a question. Yes, alright. My head feels so heavy. It's still throbbing like anything. Whoa! Stowaway. Last night. If you're not the culprit, then tell me. What happened last night here in this cabin? Well, the thing is, they were doing it, weren't they? They were doing it. They were just full out. You know what I'm saying? I don't really remember. Kazuma brought me something to eat, just like he always did. And then I got myself into the wardrobe over there, just like I always did. After that, I fell asleep. Well, yes. So deeply that you didn't even stir when Kazuma-sama was killed? Well, yes? I know it sounds unbelievable, really. I do, but it's the truth. If I had woken up, then perhaps I wouldn't be in this predicament. For some reason, my head's still throbbing like anything. Really? Or is something wrong? Oh, no. It's... Please forgive me. Susato-san, you have to believe me! I didn't do it! I really don't want to doubt you. But the trouble is, there is no one else who could possibly have done this. Okay, what about stowaways? Stowaways. Why are you even on board the ship, Naruhodo-san? You said something about being a stowaway, didn't you? Oh, yes. I'm afraid that's true. It's 2 weeks since we left Japan now, and I've been shut in this cabin the entire time. I had no idea. How could you have been occupied Kazuma-sama's cabin for so long without him noticing? No. That would have been impossible, obviously. Yes, of course. Kazuma invited me. He wanted us to go to England together. He actually asked you? But why? I'm afraid I don't really know the reason myself. I don't understand. Kazuma, why do you want me? Oh, why do you want this? What's the real reason? Why go to such extreme lengths to smuggle me into England with you? It's an idea that's been on my mind ever since the end of that incredible trial. I think I told you then, didn't I? That you had to become a lawyer yourself? Well, yes, you did say that, but I didn't think you were serious. You have a talent for it. I can assure you of it. I never really thought about becoming a lawyer. Well, that's something you can decide for yourself. London is the spearhead of cultural development, the center of the world in many ways. There can't be any harm in seeing such an important place with your own eyes, can there? Well, no, definitely not. But on a personal level, if you were to become a lawyer, then what? Nothing. Forget it. Kazuma-sama is... He was always saying the same thing. That he wanted to change the Japanese legal system. Perhaps he thought that he could do that with you. Yes, maybe. Something's still bothering me a little. The look in his eyes then. It was darker than I've ever seen it before. How would you know? Do you look in your bro's eyes and just go like, bro, your eyes are darker than usual. Are you thinking of something dark? Sounds pretty gay, my dude. Susato-san? I'm sorry that we kept it a secret from you. Am I stowing away on the ship, I mean? If I know Kazuma-sama, I expected he was trying to protect me, to avoid me becoming guilty by association. That's exactly right! Yes! We're perfect, in fact. Kazuma. I don't understand. Why? Why did this have to happen? Can't take this. Don't try to go anywhere. You're the perpetrator of this crime. You can't leave. I can't allow that to happen. I'm sorry? But Kazuma was killed right under my nose here. And I didn't do anything to stop it. And now I'm supposed to just sit around? My hands tied? While whoever did this walks free? No, I can't allow that to happen. Well, what do you propose to do then? I'm going to investigate. I'm going to find out exactly what happened here. I'm going to work on who took Kazuma's life. And how and why they did it. So I'm sorry, but you're going to have to excuse me. Oh, snap. Did she just, like... Oh, damn! She has moves. What the... That was a Susato takedown. A Susato what? What martial art form is that? I'm going to need you to prove it. Sorry? Prove it? Yes, your innocence. I need evidence. But how am I supposed to... Have you forgotten already? What you achieved just a few weeks ago? You successfully defended yourself in the court of law. Ah, I see. She's expecting me to present some conclusive evidence. I have to get Susato-san to believe me. I'll show her evidence right now that proves I'm not guilty of this awful crime. Let's stick this over the door of the wardrobe for me. It says keep out in Japanese, though I'm not sure the Russian crew could actually read it. Yeah, honestly, this would be it. It just says options and other stuff. I'm pretty sure we'll be fine doing this. Let's just showing. Ah, the symbol of Yume University. Every student wears this pin with pride. It's funny, but most emblems seem to be either round or rectangular. I like this spiky design, even though it doesn't really make sense. Although it does cause problems, lots of students end up cutting their fingers on their badges. Perhaps it was the idea of one of the founders. A sharp pin for a sharp mind or something. Oh, whoa, 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 whoa. There's a pin, there's a number on this pin right here. There's a number here, and I recall that number being on something else. Let's yes. Show. All right then. How about this? You can't trick me with something irrelevant like that. Oh. Better try to come up with something more convincing. Otherwise, I get the feeling she'll throw me on the floor all over again. Love me a girl that can kick my ass. The way you're looking at me. I think perhaps I didn't throw you hard enough. No! It was definitely hard enough. Let me show you something else. Okay, yeah, I know. I know. You can see if there's... Oh, there's still things behind there. You can see the remnants of glue he used to stick over the wardrobe doors. Though it wasn't proper glue, of course. We didn't have any of that on us. So I pulverized some rice into a paste and used to use instead. But a stowaway like me, every single grain of rice represents precious rations. That's why I spread it as thinly as I possibly could. I couldn't bear to waste any. And it says keep out. This says keep out. This is a paper seal I wrote from the wardrobe. Alright, remember really working hard to make it. But I'll never forget how Kazuma reacted. You expect the Russian crew to be able to read that? He said. Still, I was sure people would get the idea even if they couldn't read it. So we used it anyway. And it worked. I don't know if the crew thought it was creepy or what, but no one opens the door. But no one opened the door. Not the doors.
Yes!
Tell me, when I was discovering the wardrobe before, was this piece of paper stuck over the door? Oh, yes, it was. I remember clearly. I thought so. Cosmo always put it in place whenever I went to sleep in there. Just in case the cabin steward or another crew member decided to look inside. So naturally, he did the same last night as well. Yes, of course. The gentleman discovered you peeled a sign for the wardrobe doors before you opened it. But if I were truly the culprit, I couldn't have climbed back inside the wardrobe and stuck this on the outside the door on my own. Yes, that's quite true. In other words, it's impossible that I killed Kazuma. Well, even if you are sprawled hopelessly on the floor, I can see why Kazuma-sama thought so highly of you. Thank you, Susato-san. Now, do you think perhaps you could help me up? I like their dynamic. It's really cute, and I love her being like kind of a badass in this age of like men were considered better. Yeah. Like, I don't know how else to say it that way. It just was the case. It sucked diddly yucked. Just gonna do a few more things here. There we go. There we go. There we go. Okay. I don't know why, but like little notification things like bother the bejeebus out of me. So whenever I can see it, I just take it away. Well, in light of that evidence, I don't see any reason why I should stop you from investigating in here, at least. Thank you! So you finally believe me? I'm sorry, no. What? I'm not sure yet. I can't rule out the possibility that you used some sort of conjuring trick to put the sign back in position. What does she think I am, a magician? For now, I suggest you investigate as thoroughly as possible in here. I'll do the same. Alright, let's get to work, Susato-san. Please don't misunderstand me. I still have my doubts. Oh. I shall be watching you to make sure you do nothing that might disturb this crime scene. I wouldn't want you to be using your conjuring tricks to destroy evidence, for example. Right. Well, anyway, I should make a start on investigating in here. Examine everything I can. Cosmo, I swear, I will avenge your death. Ooh, we can converse. So this is all those things to converse. Present. Yes. Always, 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 when you're playing Ace Attorney, present this kind of stuff. Susato-san, about this. I'm sorry, Naruhara-san. We don't have time to waste on anything else. You must find clues. She looks serious. Really quite deadly serious. Okay, I'm still gonna examine it because I want to see what the number means. My personal student number is engraved on the back here. If you lose your pin, they won't accept you as a Yume student at the university. You may not come in, they say. Of course, you need a new pin made if you could just tell them your number. I've actually lost mine twice already, but I still don't know my student number by heart. I always say to myself, I mustn't forget to write it down somewhere, but then I forget not to forget that. Yeah, that's like me in Savian JRPGs. Okay, you can move. I'm in handcuffs and under house arrest by the crew. Not to mention Susato-san constant glares. I think it's fair to say I'm stuck in this cabin, for the time being at least. Should focus on investigating in here to see what I can find out. Okay. Cool. This is neat. What are all these things? That's my dinner from last night. A roasted chicken. It was really tasty. Yes, it was very delicious, wasn't it? But, did you eat it on the floor here? I'm not a dog, Susato-san. I eat at the table, of course. Which begs the question of when and how the plate ended up on the floor. But Kazuma-sama didn't like chicken at all, did he? No, that's right. So he didn't touch it. Which meant all the more for me. Oh no. Does that mean poor Kazuma-sama spent his last night on this earth with an empty belly? It's just too horrible. Now I suddenly have a guilty conscience and an aching stomach. Oh my god, so she liked Kazuma. Oh dear, that won't do. Oh, what's the matter, Susato-san? Whenever I'm examining things, I always find myself so focused I forget to look around properly. I guess that's not good. I don't suppose you're as foolish as me in that regard, are you, Naruto-san? Yeah, I know. I know. I'm sure you're careful to look around using these, aren't you? Now let's investigate all corners of this cabin. Yes, let's do that. I suppose my field of vision has been rather small until now. Okay, cool. Oh, I'm so glad they got the check marks there. That helps out so incredibly much. Why do you think this is? It looks like a broken piece of glassware. Whatever the thing was, it appears to have broken clean in two. The glass is such a beautiful color. It looks like a cute little, Nesuke, fastener from a kimono outfit. I'm sure that sounds like Kazuma. He wouldn't have secretly, carried a cute little trinket, like this around with him, would he? On the mark beside it, what is it, I wonder? It has a sort of brick-like hue? Yes, you're right. It's the color of the brick, isn't it? Though I don't see anything of the same color anywhere else in this cabin. Okay. These are the rules of the passage for travel aboard the SS Bure. It's essentially a list of requests from the captain to all passengers on board. Passengers must not keep weapons or other dangerous objects in their cabin. Pets are also strictly forbidden. Which we have a weapon. What? Why are you staring at me? Oh, sorry. I was just thinking. Are you more of a dangerous object or a pet? A pet. Very much a pet. Let's be real. Sundown vibes. Let's be real. Can't decide. Well, one thing's for sure. Either way, I wasn't supposed to be in here. The books have fallen over on the shelf. Look, they're all toppled the same way. Oh, what's this? A statue of some god of the sea? Although he's fallen over as well. Yes, it's almost as if the whole shelf had been ransacked and everything mowed down at once. I wonder if perhaps if Kazuma-sama doing his morning sword training did you think? I seriously doubt it. Then perhaps it was you, Naruto-san, in a fit of rage? I wouldn't have bothered leaving the wardrobe just to mess up a few books and a statue. Could the way these things have been thrown about have anything to do with the case, I wonder? I'll just set everything straight again. I don't like to see a mess. Okay, so that's to the way things are. When I went for help, the crewman forced the door open. This bolt had been firmly closed. It's quite a small bolt. Not particularly sturdy. It just slides across the the door shut. But still, with the door bolted, there would be no way to get in or out of the cabin, that's for sure. Still wonder everyone suspects me. When she glares at me like that, I feel tense all up and down on my spine. I remember reading once a detective novel that the culprit used a needle and thread to draw a bolt across from outside the room in a situation like this. Yes, that's a clever trick, isn't it? I'm an avid reader of detective stories myself. But the door of this cabinet, its frame, are made of metal, and they seal together perfectly. There would be no possibility of using the needle and thread trick here, I'm afraid. When she glares at me like that, little pins and needles all up and down my spine. She's just like, don't fucking test me, boy. You killed my crush, who was fucking you. So that's like too angry. Precious to see what this Russian crewmate makes of the scene of the crime. Excuse me. What? I was wondering how it's going. The investigation, I mean. Grandmother told me Japanese people do not make jokes. But it's not true, I see. Sorry? The criminal asking investigator for information about this crime? Very funny. Oh, it wasn't supposed to be a joke. He doesn't appear to be laughing either. He's convinced you're guilty. You might have useful information, though. I have to keep trying. So last night, did you notice anything out of the ordinary at all? Niet. Of course not. Oh my god, thank you, Cactar, for the sub. I appreciate that. It's ought to stream you go. Yeah, pretty much. That's what I do. I appreciate this Cactar. Thank you. I'm playing this game and our BF died. So, I mean, like, the gays just can't win, apparently. Not in this timeline. Niet. Of course not. Now back to corner of room and make silent. You would kill your BF too. I would kill my BF. That is correct. This would be noted as Exhibit A. I say no more to you. Did I hit a nerve? Just for a minute there. He seemed a little flustered. Because there has been something. This is admitting it thoroughly, but I can't find anything out of place. Okay, so what about this? Segi. The Japanese word for justice. The brushstrokes are straight and true, just like Kazuma. Kazuma's not straight, no. He's not straight. He's definitely not straight. Yes, his calligraphy always was a reflection of his heart. Yet can you really look at those characters without feeling shame? Knowing who drew them so thoughtfully? Of course I can! I mean, I'm innocent, so why shouldn't I be able to? You go back to work tomorrow? Damn, rip. Not me. I had to go to work today. Damn it. I agreed to this too. They're like, can you come in? I'm like, yeah, I need money. Real teachers only. I like the phrasing on that. Substitutes aren't people. They're just subs. This is the way I'm saying it now. Even though you stowed away on the ship, now you're going to bring that up, are you? I can't win. Okay. Well, this is ruffled. Why is this ruffled? There's nothing on this table at all. The plate and culinary are all over the floor for some reason. Yes, it's strange. Last night when I went to sleep, I'm sure everything was still. Oh, wait a minute. What is it? That's funny. I can't seem to remember anything about what happened after dinner after all. So then perhaps you are responsible for what happened to Kazuma-sama. No. Just, this dude can't win. That's Kazuma-sama's precious sword. He never went anywhere without it. Yes, he was always saying that a Japanese man's katana is his soul. I believe he had to work very hard to convince the government to allow him to bring it on this trip. I suppose that shows just how important it was to him. And now he's gone. But I'm not ready to let his spirit go just yet. Okay. I can't imagine, like, being in a room like this for a full month, let alone, like, just, like, hiding in cabinet doors and things like that. I couldn't. Did Kazuma write that before he died? Looks like it's written in ink. He also knocked the ink pot from the desk when he collapsed on the floor. Then I suppose he wrote his message by dipping his finger in the spillage. It does look like proper form, but look, what is it supposed to be? Is it supposed to be Japanese, or is it supposed to be English, or is it supposed to be Russian, or is it something else entirely? Because I could kind of see it being all those cases. It's definitely not like a super big thing, but you know. I thought it was going to be like the numbers on the back of the pin, but I guess not. Nope, it's not, yeah. Then I suppose he wrote this message by dripping his finger into the spillage. Poor Kazuma-sama-san. No doubt he was in terrible pain. It's almost unbearable to imagine it. I suppose he was trying to leave some kind of clue in his final moments. Was he? I'm sorry, partner. But I can't read your writing. I don't think that's Japanese, Naruhodo-san. What? Then what language is it? It pains me to admit it, but I don't know. It's not a foreign script I'm familiar with. What does it mean, I wonder? Well, there's the ink blot right there. Investigated the road. Okay, fine. Okay. Guess we'll just look in there. It's a very large traveling case, isn't it? Yes, it carries a lot of memories for me. Memories? What do you mean? Well, it's actually how I stowed away on this vessel. I was brought on board inside that case. Ah, yes. I see it says "this way up" in Japanese. Which in hindsight, I should have realized the foreign crewmen wouldn't be able to read. I was turned over and over and over, and then I was tossed on the floor in here. Oh dear. Being a stowaway isn't as romantic as it sounds. Well, it was less painful than a Sato takedown. Yeah. It do be that way. Okay. Alright. Is there something else here? Okay. I don't know why I'm saying it's like, it's not out of place when clearly there is. This is where dear Kazuma-sama would have sat wherever he was riding. London Diary? Kazuma. He didn't even make it to his destination. Looks as though the last entry is incomplete. Which means... What? He was in the middle of writing it when the incident happened? Let's see what it says. Could be a valuable clue. That's out of the question. What? Kazuma-sama may have departed this world, but you must not read his private thoughts. But what if it's something important? Something relevant to the case? Alright, I won't read it. Oh, Kazuma-sama. I don't like prying into people's personal matters either. But in this case, isn't the need for clues more important? Dang. That sucks. Okay. So now we're over here. What is this? This is... Yes, it's a bell cord, a contraption, I think. What do you mean, contraption? I read about it in a book I was studying that talked about life in Great Britain. Large households often have bell cords like this, which you could pull to ring a bell to summon servants. Really? Oh my god, thank you for the sub as well. Glad to see you both here. Won't be here for much longer. This is just kind of a short stream because I haven't been streaming. And I got called into work today, so I just want to do a small stream at least. So I make some progress, some headway, you know. It's great to see you both here, though. Really? That sounds almost magical. Shall we give it a little try? Yes! In the interest of cultural research, obviously. I love her. I love her so much. She's able to just like backflip people and also just has the curiosity of just like a wayward teen. I suppose nobody comes for lonely Japanese people. No, I'm sure it's just that everyone is busy, that's all. I think it's some kind of opening for a ventilator. hole through which a fresh air can circulate into the cabin. Isn't that a little odd? What do you mean? Well, this ventilator, that's what it is. Looks like it must be connected to the next door cabin. Yes, it would appear to. You're right. But its proposed is to allow fresh air into the room. Surely it should be connected to the outside. That's true. Perhaps it's so that rain and spray don't find their way in when the seas are rough, or something like that. I suppose. Maybe that's it. Eh? Who's that? Wasn't there a minute ago. As far as I could tell, looks like you might be European. Or gay. Oh, how did he... You noticed the man too, have you? I had no idea who he is, or how he got in here, but he looks suspicious. And tall. Suspiciously tall. Naruhodo-san, don't tell me. Do you really not know who that is? Well, no. I don't have any foreigner friends or acquaintances at all. Doesn't look like a member of the crew. There's something very unusual about him. Is he investigating Kazuma's desk? Or is he just playing on it? I can't tell. Well, in that case, we simply must talk with him. Am I just imagining it? Or does Susato-san look almost uncontrollably excited? By the way, I expected that you'd notice already, but just in case, if you press A on people when they're in your crosshairs, you can converse with them. Alright then, I'll get this especially tall gentleman in my sights and see what he has to say for himself. Oh, please do. She's so excited. No, I must examine more. This is not done yet. It's some 2 weeks since we set sail from Japan. Have you really been living in the wardrobe the entire time, Naruhodo-san? I think living isn't quite the right description. Oh, no, I suppose not. Although it must have been rather exciting, making this voyage in your own secret hideout. The trouble was, I never knew when a member of the crew might come in. So yes, I did basically have to live in the wardrobe. Last night was no exception. Well, because of that, you have no idea of what was happening out here in the cabin. No, sadly not. Oh, that got them both. Okay. Why is... Oh, because I... Oh, I see. I hit the wardrobe and not the bed. So let's hit the bed. Okay. I think we got everything. What is this? Okay. Yeah. We got everything. That's everything there. Excuse me? Excuse me, do you have a moment? Shh! This is a critical point in my investigation. Maybe I should leave him alone. He seems a little unfriendly. Yes, perhaps that would be for the best. Greetings! I hope I haven't kept you, What exactly were you doing on Kazuma's desk just now? I see. Fascinating. Sorry? What do you see? Feels like he's looking right through me. Ah, yes. Everything is clear now. The train of reasoning has run its course. My deductions have crystallized. You have been in Afghanistan, I perceive. Just recently returned, if I'm not mistaken. What a oddly trendy topic. Afghanistan. I wonder if anything else happened recently. Like a sudden takeover. Hot button country right there. sorry, what? And now, whilst adventuring towards foreign climates, you find yourself in the most troubling predicament. Oh. Well, that's true, at least. But how? How to deduce did I know that, perhaps? It was really a most elementary deduction. Hardly worth explaining. Have you perhaps managed to deduce anything else? But of course, a great many things. There's no mystery, my dear madam. For example, you have fled your native land of Russia, being as you are mercilessly revolutionary. You leave 16 victims of assassination in your wake, and now travel to England to clean up the Crystal Tower. And when the Bin Ribbon, accompanied of this very cabin, discovered your identity, you ended his life, too. Yes, I believe the summarizations the facts perfectly. No need to hide the truth now. Nothing deceives these eyes. Just to be clear, you were talking to me. Are you? Certainly I am. Do you see another in this cabin who fits the bill? A Russian assassin with 16 victims to his name? I don't even see one person who fits the bill. So it's true. It was you who did this to Kazuma-sama. What? And you're plotting a revolution, too. It's shameful behavior, Naruto-san. Absolutely wicked. No. Listen, there's no... She just keeps annoying him. Now explain yourself. Tell me everything. This is ridiculous. Damn. Can't catch a break, can he? How could you do it? For pity's sake! Open your eyes! I'm not a Russian revolutionary, obviously! Oh. Forgive me. And as for you, what kind of deduction was that? You were just saying the first thing that came into your head. Ha! But was I not right? Whilst venturing towards foreign climes, you did find yourself in a most troubling predicament, did you not? Well, yes, maybe. Ha! There you have it, you see? What do you make of that, hmm? Well, to be honest, this ship en route to England, and I'm in handcuffs at the scene of a murder. So, I'm not really sure you could call it deduction. It's more plain observation? Indeed, an observation, my dear boy, is the basis of all deduction. My method is found upon the observation of trifles, you see. I announce my findings with a brassy servitude. And more often than not, I'm right. I don't think you introduced yourself. My apologies. How remiss of me. I am none other than the greatest detective of the century, known to men and women the world over. The inimitable Sherlock Shomles. So, it's really you, actual Sherlock Shomles. The very same. The inimitable actual Sherlock Shomles. Yep. So, for those that don't know, they had to change the name for Sherlock Holmes because while he himself is a copyrighted character, he's only copyrighted in 10 of his particular stories that the people that made the descendants of the people that made it, I forget his Arthur Conan Doyle or whatever, they still have rights to those 10 in certain areas and whatnot. I don't think it applies to Japan per se, but like everywhere else they have certain rights and whatnot, and basically these could not be released over in America because of them talking about Sherlock Holmes, And the fact that, whatchamacalls, Sherlock Holmes actually gets, feelings and character development in the past 10 stories that he's in. And yes, he is technically in public domain. Sherlock Holmes, the character, is public domain. But him getting any kind of, like, emotions and whatnot is not. You need to pay rights to the Colon, estate for that. And the Colon estate is fucking awful, and I hate them. They're just plain bad. So Capcom, upon just trying to release this game again, we're just like, let's just change it. Let's just, like, they can't sue us for this. And it's true, they can't. I don't think that the 10 stories in particular that stopped this game from coming to the West to the first time around are legal now. I don't think they're in public domain because the Colon estate's awful. But it is rather interesting, the whole entire, like, copyright thing with that, because Sherlock Holmes himself, the character, the iconic image is fine. You just can't have him develop any character, which is really weird. For sure. So, like, because they use a small bit of, like, or like a certain bit of the past 10 stories, they couldn't use, they couldn't actually translate it and whatnot because they would get in legal trouble. But, yeah, it's, copyright law is bad, and I generally don't understand why we have copyright law, still this bad. And I don't mean in the sense like, oh, how did this happen? No, it was because of Walt Disney. Walt Disney is the exact reason why copyright law is awful. And I cannot express enough just how much he fucking ruined shit. Yeah, it was Disney. Yeah, exactly. I just mean in the sense that, like, wow, no one stood up against this person or try to change these laws whatsoever. And, like, there's ways to subvert laws and whatnot, ways to, like, go to parody and whatnot, but you need to make it transformative to a certain degree that can be argued. So apparently this was transformative enough. No, they just changed the name to Sherlock Shomles. He's an all-new character. Do not steal. It's like the new DMCA crap. Yeah, I bet. There's a ton of shit that's awful. And a lot of people that, like, are harping down on, like, copyright laws and whatnot, especially with streams and everything, don't understand streaming. And they're just kind of like, let's apply it with everything else. And it's like, you can't do that. You cannot do that. So yeah, there's that situation. Now that's clear, let's continue on. Do you know this man, Susato-san? The most famous detective in the world, Naruhodo-san? Of course I do. There's nobody who hasn't heard of him. What have I been living on then? You must ask him what he seduced. We had to work out the entire case already. I'm sure. Really? Why do I feel unease about this? This dude's gonna be an asshole. I just know he is. I can present that. Mr. Shomles? What do you make of this? Shh, quiet. When I'm ruminating in the course of my deductions, nothing must disturb my mind. Oh, so sorry. Eating curry, perhaps. What's he ruminating about? The lunch menu? I never seen anything like this. Most extraordinary writing. You said the same earlier this morning, I think. Indeed, but its uncommonness is so remarkable. I felt the need to say it anew. Yes, I do believe these characters may be a crude attempt at a Japanese script. What? Mr. Naruhodo-san, I don't like to be the one to tell you this, but I think Mr. Shomles is trying to say that your handwriting is a little untidy. Me? My handwriting's so bad! This is why, like, whenever, like, I see, like, learn how to, like, write Japanese and, like, kanji and stuff like that, I'm just like, nope. Nope. That shit's not gonna be prettier. I just need to understand it and be able to read it. That's the only thing I want to do with Japanese. Because writing it, holy crap. I'm so bad. No. My writing got like so bad. Basically, what happened was that I wrote really small as a kid, and then a teacher just pretty much like got at me about me writing small, and it just kind of like ruined my writing style ever since. And I just have not been able to like get pretty handwriting again. And I don't know why that was the case. It wasn't super traumatizing. It was just like, oh, I can't write really small because people don't like that. So I just kind of stopped doing that altogether. Now it's like up and down all around. I can't control my sizes anymore. I used to be able to. Your handwriting has always been garbage. Yo, handwriting being garbage, gang. Okay. Great detective? So you're a great detective, are you? Sorry, what was your name again? Indeed, I am none other than the one and only Shomles. Oh, I see. You're German? Herlock, was it? No. I know her. I mean, I have hair. Please, call me Shomles. You can read all about my exploits in this exciting London publication. Oh yes, Ransom magazine full of wonderful short stories and interesting articles from Great Britain. I never miss an issue. I have it sent from England especially. I guess. Here it is. The Adventures of Shomles. So, you were the protagonist of the series of short stories then? Indeed I am! And you read so many of your own stories, you've started to think you really are a detective? Oh yes, when people wanted stuff from England. Yep. Then they realize that all they eat over there is bread. They literally have a recipe called bread and water. They put bread under water and eat it! British cuisine is just so fucking awful, and I cannot express enough just how bad it is. Like, how? Bread pudding. Fucking just fuck off, honestly. With that shit, why is a bread sandwich a thing in Britain? How do you go to like several different places that have spices and go like, bread with bread? Ho fucking eating beans? Fuck you. You never really eaten British stuff. It's mundane stuff. Like, you'd be surprised. Like, they eat beans, sausage, eggs, and like, I think toast or something like that. And like, the most that you could probably say about British food that's like good is like the sweets, because the sweets are actually sweet. But it's still just one of those things where it's just like, why? Why did you do this? Why is bread such a strong component in every fucking like cuisine you have? Like, there's more. Like, there's noodles. Like, fuck. Because England was capitalist bad back then, and that was all anyone could afford, so that's why. I mean, it still is. It still is. And actually, spices were better for you, because spices preserved food. So the only thing that I could like really be like, oh, I get it, why they wouldn't do that was potatoes, because potatoes you can live on just the butter and the potato. It's not a healthy lifestyle, but you could live off it. Make no mistake, I'm not the poor, deluded fool you take me for. Your interference is backward. Backward? My trusty biographer records my greatest detecting achievements and chronicles them in the magazine. You have a biographer? Do you? Doesn't everyone? Mine goes by the name of Dr. Wilson, presumably keeping shop in London. Dr. Wilson? I must say, thanks to that publication, I've been fantastically busy of late. Why, this very moment I am returning from Asia, having solved the mystery of a cursed royal clown. Really? I can't work out whether I should take this man seriously or not. Deduction, you see. is to me a science. Logical reasoning in its purest form. A science? Really? The astute observer notices even the most subtle of reactions in his subject. A furtive glance, a twitch of a muscle, a slight inclination of the posture. Fingernails, arm sleeves, frowns in the skin, all these things are data. Right. And the trained logician makes deductions from this data in the blink of an eye. The ultimate conclusion is, without fail, the truth. As I demonstrated only a few short moments ago. How can he take me in the... How could he look me in the eye and claim that? So you see, I have a turn both for observation and for deduction. In vain. That is what makes me the one and only Herlock Shomles! What were you just investigating? Before we started talking, you were examining Kazuma's desk, weren't you? Kazuma? Ah, yes, the victim. Did you notice anything useful? Anything at all? Observe for a moment the desktop of the old victim. We see that the victim was engaged in penning some text. London diary. Kazuma was keeping notes of the trip. Ah, but I don't think you should read his private writings. It could upset people. Tragic. It's something you ought to perhaps elucidate before the act of reading. You mean you've read it already? It is my business to know what other people do not. Yes, believe it or not, I am a smattering of Japanese. So, I see. But you're about to know what a sorta takedown is. Sorta-san, aren't you going to throw the detective with one of your trademark takedowns? I'm sorry, Nohadro-san. What on earth do you mean? This is so unfair. Anyway, to return to the matter at hand, namely this diary belonging to the victim. It would appear the final sentence is incomplete, as if the author were cut short. Tell me, what is the nature of the writing? Pray me precise as to details. Oh, but I thought you knew Japanese. A smattering, dear boy, a smattering. Sayonara, bonsai, Makoto, nado. I trust you're suitably impressed. But this diary is littered with complicated-looking characters, of which I could read precisely none. Kanji, my dude? I can read like 10 kanji. Like straight up. I can read like 10 kanji. And that's not like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, etc, etc. I can read like all the way up to like 5, I think, of the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then like I know Watashi, and I know Nihon, and I know Nihongo, so I know Go. And that's only part of the kanji, because kanji get different meanings and whatnot, and different little things, and just... That's where the Japanese language is hard. Is the kanji. Because the actual language itself is good. It's not hard to actually follow. The grammar is very easy. It makes sense. It's the kanji. It's always the kanji. There's so much fucking kanji. I think there's like 5,000 something or other of kanji right now. And like, they're different in both Chinese and Japanese. And both Chinese and Japanese share kanji together. And it's just... Like, I get it. So what was that about showing off about before then? If you would be so kind as to show me, I would be happy to read it to you, Mr. Shomles. Much obliged, my dear madame. The final entry here in Kazuma's Sama's diary consists of Just 2 short sentences. The first reads, 1:23 a.m. I can hear a faint whistling sound. A whistling sound? These are very deep waters. Pray go on. The second sentence reads, 1:35 a.m. What looks like a sort of speckle span is dangling from the ventilator griddle. A speckled span? What on earth does that mean? I have no idea. I never heard that expression before. The ventilator grill, you say? The man was presumably referring to the lanterns there on the wall, which connects to the adjoining cabin. Yes, the adjoining cabin. Okay, we literally just talked about that. Okay. Have you managed to deduce anything about this particular case yet? If I managed to deduce anything, my dear fellow, who do you suppose discovered the culprit in his most cunning hiding place? That's right. It was none other than the great detective before you now, Mr. Herlock Shomles. I see. In other words, I'm in these now because of him. When I became anxious about Kazuma-sama this morning, I summoned all the crew members to force the cabin door open. And I concealed myself among their numbers, getting entry to the scene of the crime. Yes, luckily for everyone, the great detective, Herlock Shomles, was on board. And the handcuffs seemed to be an excellent fit, Mr. Naruhodo-san. The very moment I laid eyes on the scene, 2 facts were immediately apparent to me. Oh, really? 2 facts, you say? 2 facts. The deduction, your deduction just now. 2 facts. Mr. Shomles, tell us, please. What 2 facts were apparent to you when you came into this cabin this morning? Yes. But first, let us be precise. The 2 facts in question were immediately apparent to me. Yes, I understand. But what were they? Allow me to elucidate. The 2 facts that I deducted from the mere momentary glance at the scene of the crime were as follows. Number 1, the cabin was locked from within, rendering escape of the culprit out of question. Number 2, the victim was Russian, killed following a dispute with an acquaintance. Hold on, Mr. Shomles. What made you think the victim was Russian? Observe the dying message left by the victim on the floor. This is a Russian word for wardrobe. Do you really think Kazuma-sama could have left a dying message in Russian? In their final moments, many find their native tongue filling their head. For this young man, Russian. Kazuma was Russian? Was he? This is actually possible, by the way. It is actually possible that Kazuma could have been Russian. Because there is actually, like, an island area that's, like, actually pretty dang close to Russia. It's, like, 30 miles away from it. And there's actually, factually, a bridge that connects the two. It's crazy! And I found this out because I was looking up bridges and what was the longest bridge. I forgot what the longest bridge was because that factoid was more interesting to me. Initially I considered Guard Rob. Maybe the name of a killer. Certain Robert Guard, perhaps? But in the interest of thoroughness, I decided it would be wrong not to look inside the wardrobe there at least. Where you found Mr. Naruhodo-san sleeping soundly. Quite so. I found you. Your own Russian revolutionary killer. Why is it that I'm Russian too? I observed that you were wearing the same attire as the victim. In other words, you were acquainted. If my memory serves, the outfit is the traditional dress of the Russian people. School uniforms are the traditional dress of the Russian people? I had no idea. I had no idea a detective could get something so wrong. I took the photograph of the victim and the message. That I might analyze it for possible hidden details. This was taken immediately after the young man was discovered, before the body was removed. Yes, Cosima had already been taken away when I woke up. This is the first time I've actually seen him like this. Are you alright, Mr. Naruhodo-san? Oh, yes. Thank you. Photograph of the crime scene has been entered in the court record. Oofala. Can you ask you something, Mr. Shomles? What, pray? You mentioned Russia, before as well. Didn't you? You know, when you said I was a fearsome revolutionary fleeing from Russia, and all of that? Ah, yes. The train of reasoning that led me to the truth. Would you mind explaining, the train of reasoning to me, do you think? Oh, I don't know what that says. Certainly, if it interests you. How many times? I'm not Russian. I don't speak Russian. Okay, your deduction just now. What happened? Can we talk about your deduction before? Things that you concluded about me, I mean? Ah, the now famously accurate, troubling predicament you find yourself in. Actually, it was the other details that I was more hoping to discuss. He's rushing into it, I think. Shut up! We'll beat you up. For your puns, your punishment. You know the merciless, Russian revolutionary and, assassin of 16 part? Ah, yes. The more sordid details. It was a fairly commonplace deduction. Here we have this morning's paper. The main headline reads, Revolutionary Velen Bravatsky flees Russia via Shanghai. Yes, I do. Corporal Pun! Ishman. This vessel made a proper call at Shanghai yesterday. And last night, the young Russian was murdered. Since when was Cosima Russia? Sounds like Mr. Shomles has concluded he was Russian because of what Cosima-sama wrote on the floor. It was a simple act of reasoning to realize the culprit of this crime. The same merciless revolutionary. One who would kill the very man who helped him to escape from after his true identity was discovered. Yes, you. Venlin Bruskovsky. No. How could that be me? I don't look anything like this man. Just look at his face. Well, you are a fearsome revolutionary after all. Therefore, you have no doubt learned to revolutionize your appearance as well. Please. And I might add, your name does not appear to the ship's passengers list. Need I say more? Well, that's because I'm a stowaway. What about the other details? The 16 victims of assassination and blowing up the Crystal Tower. Yes, the journalistic clearly interviewed the man and printed all these particulars in the article. The deeds of the man as perpetrated thus far, and those he is plotting. Yes, everything about this revolutionary Bruskovsky was included. There could be no mistake. In Soviet Russia, wardrobe wears you. Wardrobe accuses you. Do revolutionaries usually agree to interviews with newspaper reporters? I wonder. And what about the part where you said I was just returning from Afghanistan? Also quite clearly stated here in the article. Bravatsky has recently returned from a period of subversive activities in a war-torn region of Afghanistan. Where even is it, anyway? This Afghanistan place. Oh, this Afghanistan place. Here, take the paper for yourself. As a little memento of this great deduction. Oh, thank you. Resort all there is of interest to me within these pages. I see no rubbish bin nearby. He just wants us to throw it away. Oh my god. And you may find the article on the back of the page of interest as well. On the back? Cast your eyes over in some time what the interest takes you. Though you may need someone to interpret it. It's all written in Russian. I couldn't hope to read it. But I suppose it wouldn't hurt just to glance at the article. Here there might be a picture or two. So, I believe I've given you enough to consider for the time being, at least. Do you have any, have somewhere else to go? As it happens, the victims writing in this diary have piqued my interest. The matter warrants further investigation, I believe. And if I am still too long, the seasickness takes hold. Oh, I suppose. You're thinking of investigating the cabin next door? Which the ventilator connects to? Great detectives are a curious breed. Our minds rebel at stagnation. We crave mental exhalation? Ah yes, I intend to investigate. Hence the truth will become clear soon enough. Do you think perhaps that we could go with you? No, that would be somewhat complicated. What? Why? Small glance at your wrists, should reveal the answer. Oh, peace. After all, you're the prime specter of this matter. No? There's no point in trying to turn it into a question. You're the one who decided I was a culprit in the first place. Whatever you mean. I had no recollection of naming you as the culprit at any point. Oh? You must be joking! You just said it! Only a moment ago! Dear me, you're clearly misguided. I have no cause to say such a thing. Well, actually, Mr. Shomles, I did hear you say that too. You're quite sure? Well, that's very strange. I wouldn't have said, you had the face of a criminal, you know. Not really. So what, were you looking at my knees before? Some great detective you are. Well, anyway, that was then and this is now. Oh my god! Kitty Fritz, thank you for the raid. I'm not sure how much longer I'll be here, but thank you, I appreciate it. What do you mean? Hold it! No, I can't hold things. What I mean, sir, is this. If you are the culprit, then you must play the part more convincingly. Roll over and accept your fate. Now he's just being plain rude. And off he goes. I'm just laughed in my face. His sense of humor is as twisted as his name. His name is twisted. Naruhodo-san, what are you just standing there for? Huh? We must go investigate the cabin next door as well. Aren't you forgetting something? What about these? There's no way. Hiya! Every time. I love this shit. After Kazuma-sama spent his dying moments struggling to leave us a clue, you're willing to give up? You're just going to roll over and accept your fate? As if you gave me a choice on the rolling over part. I think we still have some investigation to finish off in here first, don't we? Let's carry on examining what we can in this cabin while we wait for a chance to slip next door. Good idea! Situation doesn't look good for me, but there are still things I could do to help myself. I owe it to Kazuma to do everything I can to find a way out of this. Bring the real culprit to justice. Is that? Is something wrong, Naruto-san? Oh, no. It's just that crewman standing by the door. Can't help feeling like I've seen him somewhere before. Ah, yes. You're right. He does look familiar. Excuse me, sir. Yes? What can I do for you? He did it. No, wait, no, that's the detective! That's the cop, dude! I recognize that face, but it can't be. It is! I didn't know you were here, Inspector, Hosonaga? Hello again. What are you doing here? I think that should be my line. I was so stunned when I saw you, my heart stopped. Nearly stopped, I hope. I received some special orders to go undercover as a member of the crew and board the ship. Again? You certainly seem to enjoy undercover work, Inspector. If there's anything I could do to help you, please ask. I never expected to see this man on board. Perhaps his presence can help us out, this hopeless situation. Okay, can I examine anything else around here? Because I feel like they want me to. No? No. Okay. That's fine. Oh, I could talk to him again. Excuse me. What? I was wondering if I could ask you a favor? Would you mind if I investigate a little outside? Grandmother told me Japanese people do not make jokes. But it's not true, I see. Sorry? The criminal asking prison guard to help him escape. Very funny. We're in the middle of the sea. There's no chance of me escaping. Niet. You stay in this cabin until next port. Then it is up to Hong Kong police to decide where they take you. You stay. Alright. There's no point trying to appeal to this man's better nature, that's for sure. Yeah, too much. Oh, where did my dude go? Where did the other guy go? Shit. How do I talk to him? We'll just go over here real quick. Ooh, pretty lady. This is interesting. You found something relevant, Naruto-san? Well, no. I mean, it looks like it might be interesting. I can't read a single word, I'm afraid. No, nor can I. Look at this picture. Perhaps it's about a beautiful young Russian princess. Do you think? She is very pretty, isn't she? I suppose you enjoy articles like this, do you? I don't know. I can't make any sense of it. I'm glad you noticed this article. Ah! Allow me to give you a short summary of its contents. Oh, thank you. Pops up everywhere, this Mr. Shomles. It's about the disappearance of a young lady last night. Renowned prima ballerina, the Nova Scotia, and Nova Vinch, ballet disappears from Shanghai. During a performance in Shanghai, the famous dancer was reported missing. She is, of course, the talented young Nikolina Pavlova. I am not good with Russian. Why are Russian names so hard to remember? It would appear the woman was in costume when she was found to be missing from her dressing room. Wearing the diamond tiara you see pictured, which is worth some 20,000 rubles. Oh, how much is it? 20,000 rubles? I have no idea, but I'm quite sure it must be an unbelievable sum of money. Don't be Russian, the pronunciation. No! I'm scared. Big words scare me. It's a way to cope. Sasato-san's eyes are shining like diamonds themselves. The tiara is the property of Nova Vinch ballet. It would seem the director is beside herself with worry. Yes, I'm not surprised. The company is most anxious to recover both Miss Pilova and the valuable tiara. They're requesting international assistance at all ports of sailing to Great Britain. Could this be another case of a Russian fleeting hers for her country? Does seem to be the Russian thing to do. I'm not even going to dignify that with a response, Mr. Naruto-san. Okay. So we got that. Okay, so we got both articles there. Crime scene portrait. Where'd he go? Where did my dude go? I don't know where he is. How do I... Oh, okay. I just go back. I was getting scared. Present this. Inspector, can I show you this? What the? Is that a fabled Imperial Yume University pin badge? Or, I'm not sure if it's really fabled exactly, but... So, you're a genuine student then? Sorry? Nothing like me, with my regular schooling. You're something much greater. Is that what you were trying to say? Can I have my badge back, please? Okay, special orders. So what are your special orders this time, Inspector? Yes, and why are you dressed as a member of the crew? I'm so sorry. Huh? This is all my fault. I take full responsibility. For what? My orders were to act as Osagi's san's bodyguard. It was Ministers of Justice Jingoku who pushed for this. Overseas study tour to go ahead. And he entrusted me with ensuring that Osagi-san reached Great Britain without being assassinated. Assassinated? How could that have even been a possibility? I'm not sure. But these are complicated times. There are tensions between the world's greatest powers. Minister Jengoku said we should be prepared for all eventualities. This is incredible. I don't believe it. Kazuma-sama was assassinated? Obviously, we couldn't give Osagi-san a visible security escort. Which is why I'm undercover now, posing as one of the crew. I see. And I didn't take my eyes off him the entire time we've been on board. From morning until night, every day. I never imagined what happened here, inside his own cabin. Not here on the first-class deck. I failed miserably at my assignment, and Asugi-san is dead as a result. I'm a disgrace. All I could do is humbly apologize. Inspector. So if there's anything at all I could do to help you now, just say the word. We're doing what we can to investigate Kazuma-san's death ourselves. Yeah, he constantly does the glasses things. It's great. I thought you might be. You didn't do it, did you? You're not the killer? Of course not! We'd really like to investigate the cabin next door. Yes, so we need to be allowed out of the cabin. Oh. I'm sorry. What? You've been deemed a risk to the ship's safety. If we move to even touch the handle of the cabin door, that stormy-looking seaman there would surely snap your neck in two. I suppose. Minos is a stowaway now. They think I'm a murderer as well. Would it be possible? To give me something to work with, do you think? I'm going to need something persuasive. What do you mean? If I had a solid reason why the next door cabin should be investigated, for example, I'd do everything I could to persuade the captain to allow it. Really, I'd lay my life on the line if I had to. But I don't see how... There may be a way. What? Really? Think of how you tried to persuade me of your innocence, Naruhodo-san. By presenting me with a piece of evidence that you already had in your possession. Evidence? It's just the same as when you were in court. You must have done it many times during your trial. Simply select the present panel and choose some evidence that Inspector Hosonaga can use. So evidence that would give me a viable reason to investigate the next door cabin, is it? Alright. Yes. I think I might know what we could use. Okay. So we need to actually present him with a thing. Yeah, the speckled thing I think is the one. What's that? It's Kazuma's diary. Just before he died, Kazuma-sama wrote something rather strange in his diary. Strange? In what way? He wrote, what looks like some kind of speckled span is dangling from the vent of their grill. A spectral band? That is strange. Guess we're still trying to work out what you meant by that. But what I'd like to know is... Don't tell me. The ventilator, is it? You're very astute, Inspector. The ventilator clearly joins the next door cabin. That's right. If we could just investigate in there, we might be able to work out what the speckled span was. Alright. I can't leave this cabin at the moment. I'm stuck here until we arrive at the next port. The captain has given me strict orders to guard the scene of the crime, you see. I'll have to entrust the investigation to you. Really? You're willing to do that? Yes. As long as you don't leave the first-class cabin area. I'm afraid I can't remove those handcuffs, though. But what about the captain? Aren't you going against his direct orders? I've been man of my word. And I promise you that I'm lay my life on the line. That's what it takes to convince the captain. After all, I failed to keep Osogi-san safe. This is the least I could do. Thank you. Let's seize the moment then, Naruhodo-san. Okay, so we just have to move for the last thing. Okay. Alright. So, court history. What if we go options? There you go. Okay, unfortunately I have to head off to work now, so I can't exactly be staying here all the time to do other stuff. Trust me, I would if I could to at least do that. Investigation has been a lot, but at the very least I could send you people off to a friend of mine. They're a VTuber, actually, another VTuber. They're playing Monster Hunter Stories right now, so please go say hi to them for me, please and thank you. If you can, I would much oblige for it. And thank you all for showing up. I shall see you all later, okay? Thank you so much for the subs and the raid, everybody. Sayonara. Bye-bye.